The day I went back to that house, the sky looked like it couldn't decide whether to rain or forgive me. The gate creaked the same way it always had, like it recognized my footsteps before my heart did. I had promised myself I wouldn't feel anything anymore, that the past was a room I had locked and thrown the key into the river. But the moment the door opened and her mother stood there with that calm, knowing smile, every unfinished emotion rose at once, heavy and breath-stealing. She didn't look surprised to see me. She looked like she had been expecting me all along. Before the story pulls you any deeper, take a second to show some love to the channel. If you enjoy stories that hit the heart and stay with you, please like the video, share it with someone who needs it, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to Stories Beyond the Porch. Your support keeps these stories alive. The house smelled like old books and freshly brewed tea, the kind of place where time didn't rush but waited patiently for people to catch up to themselves. I hadn't come to relive memories. I had come to return a box of things my ex had left behind. It was supposed to be quick, polite, forgettable. But her mother had always been different, always quieter than the chaos around her, always watching without judging. When she smiled and asked if I wanted to see something, I didn't even blink, not because I was brave, but because some part of me knew that whatever she was about to show me would explain the ache I had carried for years. She led me to a small room at the back of the house, a room I had never been inside before. The walls were lined with photographs, letters, and small objects that looked ordinary until you really looked at them. It wasn't a shrine or a museum. It was a life carefully preserved. She showed me boxes filled with letters my ex had written but never sent, pages full of doubts, dreams, and fears that I had never been allowed to see. I realized then that the breakup hadn't just been about us failing each other. It had been about two people drowning silently, each believing they were alone. The hardest part wasn't reading about how my ex had struggled. It was realizing how much I had struggled too, and how neither of us had known how to reach across the distance that grew between us. Her mother didn't interrupt. She let the silence do its work. In that quiet room, surrounded by words that had waited years to be read, I felt something loosen inside me. Not forgiveness yet, not peace, but understanding, the kind that hurts before it heals. Life after the breakup had been a long stretch of pretending. I pretended I was fine, pretended I was stronger, pretended I didn't replay old moments at night, wondering what I could have done differently. I chased work, success, and noise, anything to keep my thoughts from settling. But standing there, I couldn't pretend anymore. I saw how love could fail without anyone being a villain. Sometimes it just collapses under the weight of unspoken pain. Her mother finally showed me the last thing, a small notebook filled with reflections she had written as she watched her child grow, love, and fall apart. There was no blame in those pages, only compassion and quiet hope. She had written about me too, about how she had seen two good people miss each other by inches. Reading that felt like being seen for the first time in years, not as someone's ex, but as a human who had tried and stumbled. When I left the house that day, the sky finally chose to rain. I stood under it without moving, letting it soak through my clothes, because it felt right to feel everything at once. I didn't go back to fix the past. I went back to understand it, and that understanding changed how I carried myself forward. I stopped running from silence. I stopped pretending that heartbreak meant failure. I started listening more, saying the things that scared me, and giving people the chance to know the real me, even if it meant risking loss again. Months passed, and life slowly reshaped itself. I found myself lighter, not because the pain disappeared, but because it no longer owned me. I learned that closure doesn't always come from the person you lost. Sometimes it comes from the people who saw the whole story when you only saw your part. That quiet smile and that simple invitation to see had given me back something I thought was gone forever: the ability to hope without fear. If this story reached into your chest and stirred something you've been carrying quietly, please take a moment to engage. Like the video, share it with someone who might need it, and let us know in the comments how it made you feel. Your interaction means more than you know, and helps stories like this find the people who need them most. Before the video ends, there's one special request. If this story touched your heart, comment a single line about what you're still healing from or what you've finally let go of. Sometimes writing one honest line is the first step toward peace.